Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Chetana S. We are doing environment series. In this video, we will study about the chapter 3 aquatic ecosystem. So, what is aquatic ecosystem? The name itself suggests us. Yes, it's an ecosystem in a water body. So, it's an ecosystem. Where is the ecosystem? In water body. So, that is why the name is called as aquatic ecosystem. So this aquatic ecosystem is being classified into three types. Based on the salt content. So the first one is freshwater ecosystem. Second one is marine ecosystem. And third one is brackish ecosystem. So all these three is being classified based on the salt content. Salt content is expressed in ppt. So what is ppt? Parts per thousand. What is freshwater ecosystem? Yes, the salt content is less than 5 ppt. Example, lakes you can give, ponds, rivers. Okay, now marine is 35 ppt and above, more than 35. Example, seas, oceans and all. What is brackish? Brackish comes between 5 to 35 ppt salt content. Example, mangroves and estuaries. So these three are the types of ecosystem. There is also classification for aquatic organism. So this aquatic organism is there, no, that is being divided based on the zones of the occurrence. So let's see. The first one is Newton is where the plants are developing in live at air water interference. Example, floating plants are the example for Newton. So in this zone you can find the floating plants. Next one is periphyton is where it is attached to stems and they live in submerged water. Example, algae, particularly sessile algae. The third type is plankton. It has locomotive power and they also live in submerged water. Example, algae and crustaceans. The fourth type is nekton. These are called swimmers. They live underwater and these are powerful. Example, all sea animals. The fifth one is benthos. Is where plants are attached to bottom and therefore they live at the bottom of the matter. So in this zone we cannot see any animals or plants because sunlight will not reach. It is difficult for the survival. So these are the 5 types of aquatic organisms: Newton, periphyton, plankton, nekton and benthos. Next we will see what are the factors required for the aquatic inhabitants to live. What it depends? Mainly it depends on sunlight. Yes, sunlight. Where the sunlight will reach, that is called photic zone. Where the light will penetrate. Light will be there. Another zone is aphotic zone. Where the light will not penetrate, or it has restricted light will be there. Here only respiration takes place. Here only respiration takes place, and this place is also known as profundal zone. Profundal zone. So this is the first factor. The second factor is dissolved oxygen. That is how much of oxygen has been dissolved. Third one is transparency. Transparency. How much of the water is transparent? Is it turbid or water is clear? Fourth one is temperature. What is the temperature of the water? So these four factors determine the factors for the animals or the plants to live in the aquatic ecosystem. So the first ecosystem we will see lake ecology. Lake ecology. What is lake ecology? What is lake? Yes. Lake is where a large water body with huge area and depth will be more. So this lake can be born out of geological events like earthquake also, and or geomorphological, basically the changes in the terrestrial land. So this lake will receive water from surface runoff and also from underground water, groundwater recharge. So this is the water source, and in this lake there will be chemical mixture, and lake will, after a certain point, the lake will start to begin to age. So this is about the lake. There's another terminology called winter kill. What is winter kill? This is common in polar areas and where we can see snow. Here what will happen is, if there's a water body, on the top surface ice sheets, you can see, you have seen in movies also, ice sheets, thick ice sheets. So this thick ice sheets will cut off light, and the water body or the fish which is there, no, this will be devoid of the light, and here you can see darkness, and hence due to this the photosynthesis will not happen in this place. Photosynthesis will not happen, but respiration of the animals living under it will continue. Hence what will happen? The dissolved oxygen level will decrease. Eventually the plants or the fish will die. This is called as winter kill. This condition is called as winter kill. So in India there are two types of lakes. One is the natural lakes where we can see in Himalaya, Indus region and all. The second one is based on the how much of the salt content is there. So the first one is natural lake, and the second one, there is classification like oligotropic, where the salt content is very low, and mesotropic, it is moderate, and eutropic. Here the salt content is very high, This is where this eutropic lakes will lead to the pollution. So we have to control the pollution by the sludge removal or filters, by algae removing. Those techniques we have to use. So we will see eutrophication. What is eutrophication? How does it happen? What is the condition related to it? Yes. So this eutrophication basically happens due to agricultural runoff. So during agricultural, they spray pesticides, insecticide, herbicide, many other components or the required for the plant. So this runoff will have lots of chemicals and untreated sewage. So this has been transported to aquatic ecosystem, and due to this what will happen? Nutrient will accumulate. nutrient will accumulate and it will enrich also, and it will enrich, the water body will be enriched with this. Due to this, there will be overgrowth of algae. Overgrowth of algae. Overgrowth of algae will lead to algae boom, algal boom, algal boom. So this algal boom, what it will do? It will start covering the aquatic surface area, aquatic surface area. So if this is a water body, nutrient will flow into this, algae will start growing. So this entire surface will be blocked by the algae. So this will restrict the sunlight growth. This will restrict the sunlight growth, and hence what will happen? Light penetration will decrease, and hence dissolved oxygen level will decrease, and this will lead to the bacterial growth and degradation of the aquatic ecosystem. So eutrophication is how it happens. So this has been very common nowadays, and that is why the water bodies are getting decomposed or unfit for the human use. So there are many policies and mitigation for curbing this eutrophication. So what do we have to do? We have to restore and conserve the ecosystem. We have to create the buffer systems for the sedimentation to create, and nitrogen testing should happen. Industrial waste treatment and efficiency of it should be increased. We have to reduce the livestock density as well, and reduce the pollution level. Okay, yeah. So this is about the eutrophication. Next topic is the wetland ecosystem. Wetland. So what is wetland? This wetland is the transition zone. It is the transition zone between deep water and terrestrial. Deep water and terrestrial. Example, we can give swampy areas. So in order to prevent the wetland, we also celebrate the World Wetland Day. World Wetland Day on 2nd February every year. There is also Ramsar Convention for the preservation of the wetland, and Montreux record also. We'll see next. So what is wetland? So wetland, as I said, it's a deep water transition between deep water and transition area, and example is swampy areas. So there is National Action Plan for conservation of aquatic ecosystem. This action plan will consist of lakes and lakes plus wetlands. So why is this wetland very important? Why is it wetland very important? So let's see the functions of wetland. So this is an habitat for many species, and it also helps in sediment filtration, water purification, pollution control also. And basically this helps in flood prevention or disaster management, nutrient cycling. It helps in nutrient cycling, and this will also prevent erosion, and species diversity is being conserved in wetland area. So this wetlands has been decreasing nowadays due to deforestation, sand removal from the beds, and agriculture, runoffs, hazardous chemical waste and all. So we have to take care of the wetlands. So what is the difference between the lakes and wetlands? So this definition has been given by National Action Plan. So according to this, minimum depth is 3 meters for lakes, whereas for wetlands it is less than 3 meters. And origin is only geomorphic in wetland. This can be multiple sources, geomorphological also can happen. So water level, minor water level changes will happen here. water level will be major changes. No waste treatment happens here, waste treatment will happen here. And productivity is less in lakes, and here it is more. Biodiversity is less in lakes and biodiversity is more here. So which is high biodiversity is wetlands. And here it is oligotropic, where salt is very less here. Here it is eutrophic, salt content is very high. They will manage the flood. Which will manage the flood? Wetlands will manage the flood. Lakes cannot manage the flood. And in last one is thermal stratification. Thermal stratification is present in lakes, whereas in wetland it is not there. So what is thermal stratification? We can differentiate the upper water temperature and the lower bottom water temperature. So this differentiation or the stratification, that is different temperature will be there in lakes, whereas in wetlands it will not be there. So as I said, for the reservation or for the conservation of the conservation of the wetlands, there is a Ramsar Convention. So India has signed this Ramsar in Iran in 1971. So this is the sole treaty for the ecosystem. So this will include the lakes, rivers, estuaries, swamps, mangroves, coral reefs, wetlands, deltas, ponds, rice paddies also. So how can they declare a Ramsar Convention site? So this should be a rare and unique wetland, and this is based on species and ecological communities, and IUCN will decide. So under this there is a Montrix record. So this is like a register of wetland of international importance, where the ecological changes are happening. So in India, Chilka Lake, which is in Orissa, has been added, and Lotak Lake in Manipur, and Kilo Dao National Park in Rajasthan. These are the Ramsar sites. Ramsar sites are more, but in Montrix record, these lakes have been added. So this is about the wetland ecosystem. Next, we will see the estuary ecosystem. What is estuary? It is the area where the river will meet the sea. So here we can see the salt gradation happening, and estuary will form due to rising sea level, movement of sandbars. That is how an estuary is formed. So biologically this area is very productive. And there are many different types of flora and fauna found in this area, adaptable to this area. So why is this estuary very important? This is important for commercial fishing, ports and harbors, travel and tourism, economic, and water purification for recreational activities, erosion protection, and it will also recycle the nutrients. For all these reasons, estuaries are very important. So major estuaries in India occur in Bay of Bengal region, because west flowing rivers are generally fast flowing, that is why. And this is about the estuary. Mangrove ecosystem, very important. Mangroves, yes, what is mangrove? These are the littoral plants. What is littoral? They grow in the water areas where the salt content also will be a bit high. So what are the characteristics of the mangroves? So these are plants growing in tidal areas. They have high adaptation in salinity, that is, they will have a special roots, and these are called as blind roots or pneumatophores. Also stilt roots. that is, the roots can respire as well, and they will have the special types of leaves as well for the water conservation. So these mangroves are very important in terms of biological diversity. So in India we can find mangroves in this region, where West Bengal, we share mangroves with Bangladesh as well, in Orissa, in Karnataka also some amount we can see here, and Maharashtra or Gujarat area also we can see the mangroves. So mangroves are the highest biodiversity area region. They maintain the water quality, prevent erosion, they help during the cyclone times also. So, and this is mangroves are also found in Andaman and Lakshadweep as well. This is about the mangroves. Next topic is coral reefs. Coral reefs. What are coral reefs? These corals. What are corals? Corals are living organisms, living animals, which has the symbiotic relation. Symbiotic, very important. Symbiotic relationship with the zooxanthellae. Zooxanthellae. So these two have the mutual relationship. Corals are of two types, hard and soft. So only hard can build the reefs. Okay, yeah. What is zooxanthellae? Zooxanthellae. So this will assist the coral in nutrient production. And this will help in photosynthesis activity. So these corals are colored. So the corals are actually white. Corals are actually white or clear, we can tell. The color will come due to zooxanthellae. Color is due to the algae zooxanthellae. Next is coral polyp. What is coral polyp? This will protect the zooxanthellae and will supply the carbon dioxide for the photosynthesis. So there are four types of reefs: fringe reef, patch reef, barrier reef, and atoll. Fringe is most common and continuous with shore. We see it in Andamans. Patch is like isolated and discontinuous. We see it in Gulf of Mann and Kachar. Barrier reef is structures like parallel to coastal line. It has been there, and we can see common in Nicobar and Lakshadweep. Atoll is where circular or semicircular coral reefs are built. So corals are very important. They help in the natural protective barriers against storm and soil erosion. They also help in tourism, food, medicine, and nutrient is also important. So there is a condition called coral bleaching happening nowadays. So what is coral bleaching? So coral bleaching happens when without algae, what will happen? The coral will start losing its major source of food. So it will start turning to white or pale. Remember, because the color of the coral comes from the algae. So if algae is dead, the coral will not have the color, coral will not have the nutrient, and hence what will happen? The corals will start falling down, or it will become weak. So why is this condition is called as bleaching? So what is coral bleaching? The density of zooxanthellae, the algae, will decrease, hence nutrition or the photosynthesis will decrease, and corals will also disappear or decrease. This is called as coral bleaching. Why is this happening? This is happening because due to unsustainable fishing, water pollution, marine debris, and also habitat destruction. There are other ecological causes for coral bleaching also, due to temperature variation and solar radiation, sedimentation. So due to all these factors, the corals are decreasing each and every day. So these are the topics for the aquatic ecosystem. Hope you like the video. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.